Some of you may remember that a few weeks ago I went to visit Obi Prestige in Canada and filmed their 2,500 horsepower Lamborghini Gallardo and their 3,300 horsepower Nissan GTR. Well, I called that video Real Life Need for Speed, and after that EA got in touch and said they wanted to sponsor one of my videos so I could share with you an exclusive version of the trailer for Need for Speed Heat. So that's exactly what's happening. This video has been sponsored by EA and I'm about to roll that exclusive version of the trailer for Need for Speed Heat. If you want any more information, there is a link below. I hope you enjoy it. I have always loved the Need for Speed games. This one is going to be awesome.
This is the playground. The one they think they control. But when we create, they can't look away. They have to see. So I say watch. This is me.
In the Jeep, bumping low, pretty flocker with the prayer hands. I said it once and I'ma say again. You roller coaster in Vegas, man. I'm the closest to the greatest. That statement is daily debated. I'm slaughterhousing on the pavement. Tell Charlamagne that we just made it. You can't even catch on my cadence. It's just cause you faded.
Street racing has no place on public roads.
Feel like
You are out there engaging in this type of activity, we will find you. There is no escape.
Look around. This is our escape.
Each time I come to New York, I have to try really hard to not make a bad rip-off Casey Neistat video. I've seen so much content of his from this city over the years that I just want to time-lapse everything. But anyway, hello one and all, and welcome to Seen Through Glass. Today I'm meeting up with Cars, the shipping partner for Drive the World, to talk through some sort of logistics for the end of the year, and they suggested we meet here at the Classic Car Club Manhattan. Now, I've been wanting to visit this place as Seen Through Glass for a very long time, because before I started this channel, I've actually been to the Classic Car Club in London, and I came to their previous location in New York when it was kind of a little bit more in town. Since they've moved to this new location, Cars have actually been working with the Classic Car Club more and more often, and I can see why, because this place is awesome. This year I feel like I've visited quite a few different sort of car clubs, and they vary from car storage facilities to dealerships to coffee shops. But this place, arguably is the original, is all based around actually driving. They've got a fleet of cars available to their members. They want people driving as often as possible. So yes, once I finish my coffee away from the very loud helicopters, I'll spin you around and show you what happens inside the Classic Car Club Manhattan. Motion simulation room. Oh yes, this is what I wanted to show you. Welcome to, I mean, this is just got to be the best room in the entire club. These are $80,000 racing simulators. These seats and the sort of steering wheel and pedal setup can all be changed to give you the closest experience to an open wheeler or a GT car or whatever you might want to sort of set up. Anyway, apparently absolutely amazing. You can race against each other, you can just do test drives, you can do lap times. I wish I could have a go today, but unfortunately I can't. But I wanted to show it to you anyway because I want one of these in my house. What an absolutely awesome place. Lived up to all of my expectations, but also a very productive meeting with Cars. We've sort of finalised some shipping, some logistics plans for the end of the year. More on that soon. But right now, it is time to relocate a little bit outside the city because I'm finally going to be driving or getting up close to a car that I've been intrigued by for so long. You'll find out more when I get there. For now, I've got about an hour or so drive in New York traffic, so this isn't going to be fun. Let's skip to the meeting point. Now, I imagine a few of you, but maybe not many of you, will know exactly what this is. I am a self-confessed obsessive with late 90s, early noughties cars. You might be going, Sam, what are you on about? It's just a Maserati Grand Sport, get over yourself. Well, no, because this is a Maserati Grand Sport MC Victory, one of just 180 cars in the world. Now, this is not a classic Italian manufacturer trick of just painting the car a different colour and saying, ah, it's special edition. This is actually a sort of bespoke, well, unique car. Let me walk you around and tell you the story. So we have to kick things off with a bit of a history lesson, because back in 2005, Maserati won the FIA GT Constructors' Cup with the MC12, the Maserati version of the Ferrari Enzo. And to celebrate that, and probably to sell a few last-minute Grand Sports, Maserati made this special edition MC Victory, taking a few elements that nodded towards the MC12, but also sort of creating the best version of this beautiful-looking car. And one thing which I think you can still say to this day is Maserati have always made beautiful cars. And in fact, when these cars were out, so back in sort of early noughties, my mum was obsessed with them. Yeah, my mum is actually the car person in my family. So what was the MC Victory version or edition? Now, the killer giveaway at the front is actually this big old splitter. This was a redesigned front splitter for the car, which does add genuine downforce to it, but you can probably see here, if I come really close, it's blue carbon fibre, or in fact the actual weave has got blue weaved into it. So this was very early colourful carbon technology. Nowadays you see it sort of all across the boards with McLarens, Ferraris, Koenigseggs, Paganis, but no one was really doing coloured carbon fibre back then except Maserati. Then we kind of open things up for what I think is the main show, because as beautiful as the car is from the outside, look at that for an interior. Look at these extended paddles. Those things are absolutely amazing. Lots of you will know that I'm a fan of a big paddle, and there's a carbon fibre. Then in here, just the design in general I think is amazing, with all these little buttons knocking around, all that carbon fibre extended into the back, and there you go, the badge, 16 of 180. Now, it's not all just blue carbon fibre and a nice interior. This car did get some mechanical upgrades. Got a faster steering rack and a recalibrated ECU, because it has the, well, Ferrari F1 gearbox. I think they called it something different for the Maserati, but it is fundamentally the same. At the time, Maserati said that owners of the MC Victory would get the same exhilarating experience every time they stepped in this car as they would if they were stepping in an MC12. But punchy statement, but anyway, let's find out, because we are now going to jump in and go for a drive. We are traction lighting up! This thing was trying to spin its wheels up! This thing's amazing! Honestly! Okay, I've driven many cars from this era now, because I just keep lusting after them, and very few really get my heart racing, because they can often be a bit of a disappointment. You can feel a little bit slow or a little bit loose and not have that same kick that maybe they had back in the day. This thing, however, oh my god, it feels awesome. Here we go again. And if you account for that gearbox, it's totally great. It really doesn't feel slow. It gives you a nice kick. You feel involved. You just got to remember that. It's not going to be like a dual clutch, DCT, PDK, whatever you might want. This is so cool. And the best thing is, you can say, well, you don't, I mean, I feel like there's something in here from an MC12. I mean, there's something. The blue carbon fibre, man, I don't know. Can you hear those downshifts, people? The downshifts are mega. Also, the throttle pedal, the travel is a little bit long, so you really got to get into it. To get that full power, you've got to really kick down, and then before you know it, you're travelling a, here we go, a great rate of knots. Ah, mamma mia! Honestly, if my mum is watching this, You missed out not getting one of these cars, Mum. What were you thinking? This thing is amazing. I do want an exhaust on it though. I'm just gonna say, like, there's something about the originality of it and the fact that, you know, this was how the car sounded back in the day. I don't want to mess with that. That is all the power you need, people. What is with these companies making 700, 800 horsepower cars? It's ridiculous. You don't need more than 400. You just don't. It's got character, it's got symphony, it's just got something about it, and it's Italian, and I'm a sucker for that every single time. I think this is a true beauty, and you know what? I would pay stupid money for this. I would. I'm just going to come out and say it. And that blue carbon fiber, mega. I genuinely loved that car. There's just something about it, and I freely admit I do always get carried away by all things Italian, and maybe in hindsight it has some flaws, but in essence it's just a bit of me. I do worry it would break down endlessly if you bought one, but they are rare, those MC Victories, and when they come to the market people still don't quite know what their value should be, so you can get a steal every now and again. But anyway, time to move on, because I received a rather last minute invite to go and meet up with sort of insta-famous hypercar collector VTM the King. Now I'm pretty confident you would have seen his and Sparky's cars on social media over the years, and I've got a pretty amazing opportunity to experience a car that I haven't ever experienced on the road. Yes, I'm going to be meeting up with VTM the King to check out his Koenigsegg. Let's go. Now this is not the first time I've actually sat inside a Koenigsegg. I did so in a showroom in, you know what's in Vancouver? Phew, that took me a while, yeah. Yes. I was worried for a second that I wouldn't remember where I was. But yeah, it's a little bit different when everything's running and I know that we're about to head out onto the road. So seatbelt on, I think, would be...
Seatbelt is important.
Yeah, the first thing. And anyway, so yes, we're going to be heading out right now just to do some sort of local roads, and so that I can experience this thing out on the road, because it is really one hypercar, but one car make in general that I've never really had the chance to sort of feel and get to know. So yes, see you guys very shortly out on the road.
A few minutes later.
Okay, we are 2 minutes in, and this is already like no other experience I think I've ever had. Now, you're lucky you get to drive a lot of different cars, as we've just seen.
Yes.
Behind the wheel, does this feel like any of the others?
There's nothing that I have currently driven to date that feels like this at all.
I would agree with you there.
Just learning to drive this car and learning its quirks, I have decided that you almost have to reteach yourself in a way how to drive, because it requires so much use of the downforce to really let the car function.
Okay.
Even in day-to-day scenarios, like if you get off throttle in a corner, you'll feel the back wiggle a little, because it's all of a sudden losing a little bit of the pressure and the downforce.
Oh my god. The thing is, the noise as well and the sensation is so visceral. Like the roar, it's hard to explain. And then you just take off like a rocket ship. But it's not a screaming LaFerrari or anything like. It's just this kind of like mad. Oh, it's just demonic. I found a bit of power there. The second gear we went, oh my god.
It's very hard to be foot to the floor in this car.
Sure.
Just because there's so much power and so much torque. There's no word that I'd probably do. So we're doing about, I'd say, half to maybe 3/4.
Okay, okay. And the big knock, is that the wing still, or that's exhaust? What's the big knock you hear when you...
That's backfire from the exhaust.
Okay, nice.
If we had the top off, you would hear it more, almost like a gunshot.
Okay, because that's what I mean. It's super
sounds
loud.
like.
It's
It
almost like a
sounds like a
mechanical bang.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Definitely not one I will forget, and I can feel like I can now tick off basically the big 6. Okay, I haven't done Chiron, so I need to find out the way to do the Chiron, but I've done Veyron, Huayra, Agera, LAV 918P1. And like, for me, that's a pretty big accomplishment, so I appreciate it. Thank you very, very much.
Of course.
I'm not sure we could have picked a much more beautiful spot to finish. This is fairly ridiculous, and this car, absolutely outrageous. This man right here, I have to thank massively. Amazing to get the tour of the full garage. This is a Koenigsegg.
Koenigsegg?
Yeah. Pretty special, right?
Yeah, I guess, huh? Lots of tickets.
We guess, yeah. These things get so much attention as they're driving around, so hugely special to finally experience one from the inside. If people want to follow you on Instagram,
VTM_the_king_4, and also follow Sparky18888.
So many 8s, don't worry, there are links below. I have remembered this time to put them there. Oh mate, thank you so much, honestly.
Anytime.
If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.